डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar dear students, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. We are in lecture series for the program Bachelor in Computer Application and paper BCA 304, that is System Programming and Introduction to Microprocessor. So, let us start with first lecture. In today's session, we will learn about program and programming, programming language, what is compiler, interpreter, loader and linker, and how program get executed. We will also discuss classification of programming language. So, let us start with some terminology which is very useful for understanding what is programming is. Here in these subject we will learn about system programming, but before learning system programming we should have general idea about what is programming is, how program get executed, what are the types of languages available to develop program. So, we will in this lecture we will first introduce some basic concept regarding programming and gradually we will learn what is system programming is. So, let us start with some simple terminology, like the first terminology is instruction. So, instruction is a command given to computer to perform a task. Sometimes instruction is also known as a command. So, instruction is a smallest command given to computer to perform certain task. The next is program. So, if we arrange these instruction in some logical order, then it is called a program. So, program is a logically related set of instruction that is arranged in sequence to perform some task. Let us take some simple example. Suppose I want to add two numbers and display my result onto screen. So, what I will do is I write down instruction read value 1, then read value 2, add these two numbers and display result in screen on screen. So, this is an example of smallest program. So, if we have to follow this order, we have to read number first, then we can read number 2 and then we can add these two number, and after adding these two number we can only display it on screen. So, program is a logical sequence of related instruction, right. Next terminology is programming. So, we all know that programming is a process of writing program. So, if I writing program, then it is called programming. Next is a software. Now, suppose I have a few programs which is interrelated, then it is called software. For example, Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a software which is provide facility for spreadsheet. In spreadsheet you can perform many tasks like sorting, searching, filtering, creating charts. So, these are individual programs. For example, sorting is a one program, filtering is another program, creating chart is another program. If I put all these programs together, then it becomes one software. So, software is a set of programs. Now, suppose I combine these software into a group, then it is called package. For example, Microsoft Office is a package because it is a group of software like Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, etc. So, next is a package which is a group of software. So, we have clear idea about what is instruction, what is program, what is software, what is programming and what is package. Now, next we discuss classification of computer software. Why we need to understand these? Because we have to focus our concentration on system programming. So, for that we have to understand these software classification. The computer software can be broadly classified into two categories. The first category is called system software and another category is called application software. Our focus in this subject is system software and system software programming. So, we must understand what is difference between application software and system software. So, let us try to understand what is application software and what is system software is. Now, let us start with system software. So, it is a collection of programs that interface with the hardware. The main objective of system software is to control your hardware. The categories of system softwares are language translator, which includes assembler, compiler and interpreter. The basic software which is required to run any system is operating system. So, operating system also falls in the category of system software and we can have some utility softwares like sort, merge and some special purpose software like loader, linker etc. So, these are the examples of system software. You can say system software closely interact with your hardware. Without system software, you cannot or other programs relies on the facility provided by system software. You cannot copy file or save file in a Word document if operating system does not provide facility to write your file onto hard disk. So, that is why we can say system software is a software which controls your hardware or provides low level functions such as reading from keyboard, writing to hard disk etc. So, we can say other programs relies on the facility provided by system software and we have discussed a few examples of system software. Now, let us try to understand what is application software is. As its name suggests, application software is used to solve a specific data processing task. Categories of application software are database management system, spreadsheet program, word processing, desktop publishing and presentation software, multimedia software, data communication software and statistical and operation research software. If you look at all these software, they perform very specific tasks. For example, Microsoft Word do only word processing task. Microsoft Excel provides facility for creating spreadsheet. Likewise, Microsoft PowerPoint provides facility only for presentation. So, we can say application software are designed for specific application like word processing, presentation, spreadsheet, communication etc. So, now all these application software depends on the system software. So, these are the relationship between application software or application program and system software. So, application software depends on system software and system software closely interact with hardware. So, this is the basic concept of system software and application software. Now, let us try to understand programming languages. To write a computer program, we can use programming language. So, programming language is composed of set of instruction understandable to the programmer and recognizable by computer. It can be classified as high level, middle level and low level. For example, our communication language is English. If you understand English, then you can understand whatever I can say you in English. Likewise, we know that computer understands only 0 and 1, that is binary language. So, remember, we understand spoken languages like English, Hindi and Gujarati, but computer only understands 0 and 1. So, we have to bridge gap between these two. We understand high level languages like spoken languages, and computer understands low level languages or low level formats such as 0 and 1. So, the task of programming language is to provide facility to write program in your language, and when you try to execute that program, it should convert it into whatever is recognized by computer. So, this is the major function of programming language. It allows you to write programs, and when you execute this program, they are converted into format which is understood by computer. And we have three categories of programming language: high level, middle level and low level. Sometimes high level language is very similar to spoken words, middle level language use mnemonics, and low level language means we directly write down program in form of 0 and 1. Now, let us try to understand system programming language. A programming language used to write system program like operating system is called system programming language. It provides instruction to control the computer circuitry as well as manage the resources of the computer. Earlier, assembly language was used to write system program, but today you can write these system program in C level language also. Now, let us try to understand application programming language. We know that system programming languages are used to write system programs. Likewise, application programming languages are used to write particular application. So, a programming language used to write business application or scientific application is called application programming language. Application programs are either business application or scientific application program, and it provides instruction that is easy to input data, to produce output, to perform calculation and to store and retrieve data. Here you can see the examples of two application programming language, that is COBOL and Fortran. The full form of COBOL is Common Business Oriented Language, which can be used to write business application, and Fortran, for example, full form is Formula Translation, and you can write down scientific application which involves formula in Fortran. And in C language you can write down, it is sometimes called general purpose programming language, where you can write down varieties of program. So, this is called application programming language. What is difference between system programming language and application programming language? As its name suggests, system programming language provides you the facility for writing system program which needs to interact with your hardware, and application programming language provide facility for writing application specific programs. The third category is called machine language or low level language. Now, it provides instruction written in form of binary number consisting of 0 and 1. That is why it is called low level programming language or machine language. The instruction has three parts: operation code, mode and operand. Now, operation code specifies what function has to be performed by computer. For example, adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying. There is a specific code for performing particular operation, which may be logical or comparison function also. The mode either specify whether the operand contains data or location. Some are memory operations, some are some involves memory directly from memory location or value entered by user. So, mode specifies whether operand contains data or locations, and third part, which is operand, is a value on which operation is to be performed. For example, if I want to add something, I must have that value. So, operand specifies that part. Now, it is considered as a first generation language, because earlier people write program directly in form of 0 and 1s, which can be understood by the machine. Now, what is advantage and disadvantage of machine level language? It is very difficult to understand by humans, because it is directly written in form of 0 and 1s, but the advantage is it is directly understood by the computer. So, its execution is very fast. Suppose I write down program in high level language, first I need to convert it into low level language, which can be understood by machine, but here we write directly into machine level language. That is why it execute faster than machine language code. So, advantage is faster execution and disadvantage is difficult to understand by human. So, it is very difficult to write down program in machine level language, but advantage is you can quickly execute your program. For faster execution, you can write down code in machine level language. Now, let us take example of machine level language instruction and program. So, there are three parts we already discussed: operation code, mode and operand. So, here for example, I have write down something in first line, which is a operation code, and here is a 000 is a mode and 0111 is a operand. So, it indicates that load a register with value 7, for example, because last is a 7. So, this specifies load and this is mode and this is a value. Likewise, we have second instruction and value 10. So, the instruction format for machine language is something like this. There are certain bits reserved for operation code, there are fixed number of bits for mode, and there are fixed number of bits for specifying operand or value. So, this is the format of machine language instruction, which is generally difficult to understand by humans. Now, we already discussed advantage and disadvantage of machine level language. So, advantage is it does not require translation, because it is directly understood by the computer and it takes less execution time. Also, it is sometimes called machine independent, because every machine or every processor understands 0 and 1. So, low level language or machine language is sometimes called machine independent language, because it does not rely or write for particular machine, the disadvantage part. So, first disadvantage is it is difficult to use, it is error prone because there may be problems in writing in 0 and 1s, and it is difficult to debug and modify. Why? Because you cannot find out errors from series of 0 and 1s. So, it is very difficult to debug and modify. It is very difficult to locate error also. Now, next is a assembly language. What is disadvantage of machine language? The instruction format is very difficult to understand. So, assembly language comes into picture. Here instruction is in form of code that consists of letter, digits and special symbols. The instruction are called mnemonics. Now, what is mnemonics? We will take one example. So, you will better understand what is a format of assembly language and what is mnemonic. It is considered as a second generation programming language. Machine language is first generation, assembly language is second generation programming language, and you require assembler. Why you require assembler? So, assembler is a program that converts these mnemonic into machine level language or in form of 0 and 1. So, an assembler is needed to translate assembly language into the object code. So, advantage of assembly language is it is more easy to understand than machine language, and disadvantage is that it is bit slower than machine language, and another program like assembler is required to convert these mnemonics into machine level language. So, let us understand how assembly language program is written. Here is a mnemonic, and here in comment we mention what is meaning of these. So, here I write down LD A, 7. LD means load, A is the name of register and 7 is the value that I want to load into register A. Likewise, in second line I write down LD B, 10, which means I want to load value 10 into register B, and third is a add instruction which adds register A and B and store result into A. So, this is the format of assembly language. If you remember the slide of machine language instruction code, the same code is very difficult to understand in case of machine language, but here you can easily understand because it has a certain code like LD for load, add for addition. So, it is easy to understand, but the disadvantage part is you need to convert these into 0 and 1. For that you require assembler. So, the advantage is program are easy to read and write than machine language, that we can obviously see in the example, and disadvantage is it is again machine dependent and program is difficult and time consuming. Programmer should know logical structure of the computer. So, these are the advantage and disadvantage of assembly language or low level language. Remember, we have to write down system program in either machine language or these assembly language most of the time. You can also write your system program in high level language, but for quicker and faster execution of program, you must write down your code into either assembly or machine level language. The next is a high level language. So, here instruction is similar to human language. It has a grammar that make it easy for a programmer to write program and identify correct error. It is also called third generation language. First is a machine, second is a assembly, and third is a high level language. Example of high level language is BASIC, that is beginner all purpose symbolic instruction code, C language, COBOL and Fortran. All these are examples of high level language. Now, let us look at the high level language program and about compiler. So, here you can see it is very difficult to very easy to understand. Let x is equal to 7. What does this means? We want to store value 7 into x. Then we write down let y is equal to 10. What does it mean? It means we want to store 10 into variable y, and finally we want to sum x and y. So, we write down let sum is equal to x plus y, and finally we write print sum end. So, all these statements are very easy to understand by human. So, that is why it is called high level language. But what is disadvantage? We have to follow certain syntax. Syntax means grammar. You have to follow grammar or syntax of particular programming language, and again you need to convert these high level language code into machine level language using program called compiler. So, here is the process. You write down high level language program, which is also called source code, and then you have to run this program using compiler, which converts your source code into object code or low level language, which is specific for machine, and it is called object code. So, another program is required, which is called compiler. In case of assembly language, we require assembler. In case of high level language, we require either compiler or interpreter. So, these are the advantage. Readability is high, portability means you can easily run program written on one computer to another computer. It is easy to debug, debug means to find out errors. So, it is easy to debug and easy in development of software, because it is understood by humans. But what is disadvantage is it is slower than assembly and machine language, and compiler or interpreter is required to convert high level language into machine language. Now, what is compiler? Let us try to understand compiler. So, compiler is a program that reads your program at a whole and convert it into low level language. Another program is there which is called interpreter. What it does is it reads your source code or program written in high level language line by line, and if some error is encountered, it stops executing that program and shows you that whatever error it encounters. But in case of compiler, it reads entire program and shows you list of all the errors, and if there is no error, it will immediately execute your program. But in case of interpreter, it reads program line by line, convert immediately, if there is no error, it immediately converts that line into machine code and execute that. So, this is the difference. Now, when to use compiler and when to use interpreter. So, if your program contains no error, then execution is faster in case of compiler. But if your program contains error, because it shows many errors at a time, it takes more time for debugging. In case of interpreter, even if your program contains no error, it executes slower because it reads program line by line. But what is the advantage? The program error shows 1 by 1 to user. So, it is very easy to debug in case of interpreter. So, let us summarize difference between compiler and interpreter. Compiler scans the entire program before translating it into machine code, and interpreter translate and execute program line by line. Compiler convert entire program to machine code, and only when all the syntax error are removed. In case of interpreter, each time the program executes, every line is checked for syntax error and then converted to the equivalent machine code. Compiler is slow in debugging and interpreter is fast for debugging, while in case of compiler, if your program contains no error, execution is fast, and in case of interpreter, execution time is more. So, let us summarize. In today's session, we have learned about basic terminology that is useful for programming. We have discussed the type of programming languages like assembly language, low language, assembly language and machine language with its instruction format, and we have also discussed advantage and disadvantage of assembly, machine and high level languages. We have also discussed two important system programs, compiler and interpreter, and we have also discussed the difference between compiler and interpreter. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you and happy learning.